Hi, my name is Adam Kunzmiller, and I'm here with BGG TV at Gen Con 2014, and I'm joined by Richard Launius with 8th Summit and Gray Fox Games. We're here to talk about Run, Fight, or Die. So Richard, why don't you tell me about this?
All right, Run, Fight, or Die essentially is like every B-movie character you could possibly put into a game is in this game, as well as an action-based dice rolling system of where you have a first-player shooter with zombies constantly coming towards you. So the object of the game, rescue as many town people as you possibly can, get out of town and stay alive, because if one player dies, the game ends and everybody scores points based upon how many hit points they have remaining and how many people they've rescued, the points on those people. So that's the basis of the game.
All right, is it cooperative or every man for themselves?
There actually is a cooperative version, which is different than just the base game, but it's kind of semi-cooperative at times, because if the mutant zombie boss wakes up, which actually there's a large miniature for him, I don't have it, the base game just comes with a token, then he moves in front of everybody, so they all work together to take him down. But overall, I want to make sure I survive and rescue the most people, as opposed to anybody else. So there's some interaction, not a tremendous amount of interaction unless you're playing the pure cooperative game. But we do have an opportunity to play a cooperative game.
Well, it looks like we have lots of cool components here, some figures, some custom dice. Why don't you walk me through how all this works?
Okay, basically every player has a board which shows 3 zones on the board. And I'll set this out in the middle. I don't know if it can be seen better there.
Work. Yep.
And basically, you start the game with 4 zombies out at Zone 3. This is they can see you from out there. Then you've got 3 in Zone 2. They're coming towards you. And then you've got 2 at the start of the game where they're right on you. And the action dice line up to those. So bats can only be used in Zone 1.
Makes sense.
But they can basically kill 2 zombies. So guns can be used in any zone to shoot 1 zombie. Running, so you can run away from zombies. If you do, you would move a zombie from any zone you want to back. If you move one off of Zone 3, it's gone from the game.
Okay.
And then the other icons that you use in the game are the search icon, which basically is a sliding scale. So the more search icons that you have, essentially you can do different things. And ideally, 2 search icons will let you find a follower. 3 will let you draw 2 and keep 1. 1 will let you find a location. You never stay at a location in the game, you're constantly moving. Most locations are good, but obviously if you stumble into a graveyard while zombies are getting up, that would be bad for you. So there's a few bad locations in there also. And then there's another icon, which is the Book of the Dead. And the Book of the Dead basically is also, depends on how many you get. So that's kind of the Yahtzee factor, I guess you want to look at it. The more you get, the better. If you get 3 of those, you could either get a follower or you could wipe a total zone out regardless of how many zombies are in it and get rid of them. And that goes all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 just getting you an event, where 5 can do really, really powerful things.
Now is this kind of a roll and keep kind of thing, or?
No dice are locked except for zombie dice. And so if you roll the zombie icon, those dice become locked. And they're also going to bring a zombie out at the end of your turn. But the one mechanic that's different in this game is, at any point of my turn while I still have rolls remaining, and we basically start with 3 rolls, so you have the initial roll plus 2 re-rolls. Some characters do more. And you can get followers who give you more or take them away or do different things. But if I want to roll those lock die, at one time in my turn while I still have a re-roll remaining, I can flee. And I would draw a fleeing card, and this is not the fleeing card we want because that wakes him up, but I draw a fleeing card that says, okay, I take 1 wound, but I now unlock all my zombies. So if I had 1 zombie or 3 zombies, they would become unlocked now, and I could re-roll those zombies at that point. So that mechanic gives you some more choices on your turn to control the dice rolls. Additionally, most characters will have, every character has a special ability. Like the athlete, for example, he can throw bats into Zone 2. They only do 1 wound out there. He can throw them into 2 and 3, but he can use them like a gun, essentially.
Cool.
But he also has, everybody has a dice combo bonus, and his combo bonus says if I have 3 zombies, a bat, and a run, then my special ability is I ignore the zombie icons, I draw 2 loot, keeping 1, and I still get to use my bat and my run.
Oh, wow.
So it's not something you try to get, because you really don't want 3 zombies.
Yeah, you're really pressing your luck on that one.
If you got 3 zombies, well, maybe it's what I'm going to get.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that we've seen over and over again is of the people that really are playing the game and loving the game and giving feedback, is at times you'll just look like there's no chance of survival.
Right.
And then somebody will make their combo, or they'll roll those 3 books, or something else will happen to where all of a sudden, you know, I'm rescued and I'm going again. So and it's fairly intuitive. So the basis of the game is, on your turn. In fact, I'm just going to let you
go ahead and take a turn.
I'm going to let you just take a turn right now.
All right. So what do I roll?
Basically, you pick up all the dice and roll them.
All right. No zombie, no zombie, no zombie. Stop.
And there you go. So the first thing you're going to do is you have to do your event die.
Okay.
So your event die, on the card, it'll show you that the event die for this is going to be all quiet. You're not going to get any new zombies at the end of this turn unless you roll zombies.
Okay.
All right? So now, you do have one, and it's locked now, unless you choose to flee at some point. But you have 2 more rolls. Now,
and new zombies always come into the farthest zone?
All new zombies come in the back, unless there's an advanced version of the game. If you have the zombie horde pack, where there's actually the crawlers, which are zombies that are on the ground. Sometimes they'll tell you to put them in zone 1 because you didn't see them. You're running through the night and they just appear there. But in the basic game, you know, all zombies take one wound to take down, and all of them always come in from the back.
Well, I'm pretty happy with this set of dice, so I'm going to keep this.
I don't think you want to keep all of them.
Really? Okay. Oh, I guess I could just roll this one.
Well, you can kill 2 with that.
Kill a third here.
You can throw that one across there.
And so actually, because I'm the athlete.
Yeah, because the athlete, you may want to keep it. You also have a run and you have a gun. You know, you could choose to flee or just leave that one. It's kind of your choice on that, or you could choose to re-roll any of those. Now, ultimately, you want to get followers, but I'll show you how that works in a minute anyway.
Okay.
But go ahead, and it's up to you. Keep them, re-roll them, use them.
You know what?
For you, that's not a bad roll because you can throw those bats.
No, I'm going to try and get some followers.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
All right, but now you got 2, and you got 1 more roll, so these are good for you, and the gun's good for you, but you may want to flee to re-roll those 2.
Sure, let's do that.
All right, you draw the fleeing card.
Is it still that big bad guy?
Could be, but it's not. And what it says is you immediately put 2 zombies in zone 2. Since you were going to add 2 to the new zombies coming in anyway, this just gets them there earlier.
There you
now
go.
These are unlocked, and you have 1 last roll. You can roll anything you want. Yeah. Okay. Well,
hey, this worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. So now you basically resolve your dice, and you do your actions any way you want to. So, you know, you'll naturally kill these 2 zombies. You can throw this bat. Only you can do that. I can't do it.
So I'll throw that and kill one of those.
Yep. Now you've got 2 guns. Now the guns can shoot zombies anywhere, so you can, all right, you shoot those 2. And now you get an event. So you draw an event card.
Okay.
And by the way, okay, so that's the sliding scale one, the more you get, but 1's
So 1 is just
an
event card.
And you got a wandering horde of zombies, so you get to add 3 zombies immediately to your zone 3.
Oh, that zone 3 is going to be an issue.
Is a problem. And I get 2 just because you brought them all out. So thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
Now we move to the zombies advance phase. All those zombies move forward.
All right.
And you have Quiet Night, which says normally right now you get 3 new zombies plus how many zombie icons you have. But you get no new zombies, so you've got 1 big problem right there. All right, so let's say it's my turn now. Dice get passed to the next player. I basically roll a die. Now, by the way, I'm the country girl. I don't know if I mentioned this, but on the back, and this is nice, everyone has a backstory. See how that play on words right there? By the way, I happen to love Kristen, the country girl story, because her story is, when I was a little girl, my pa, Lord rest his soul, always said to me, if you're going to make a living from the land, Christy, the last thing you need is brains. That seems like a good lead into a zombie story.
It does.
Isn't it?
It does.
So her ability is, on her first roll, if she has any zombies, she can re-roll 1 of them for free. It doesn't even count as a roll. So, because she has a little bit of land common sense, country girl common sense, you see. So she rolls these dice. First thing she gets, I get Quiet Night. And good thing she's got that ability because she got 3 of these things. So she'll use her ability to re-roll 1. And so I've got 3 runs right now. I will flee. I'm not going to leave those 2 there. Yeah. And I add 2 zombies to my zone 3. And with that, I'm going to pick these up and this up, because if nothing else, I can run away from these. The problem with running, though, unless you're moving them from there,
it doesn't get rid of them. It just delays
backing them up.
Yeah, unless you back them off zone 3.
And look, I am rolling lots of runs. I got 1 more roll coming to me. All right, now, so I actually find somebody. So I can do these in any order I want. So with 2, I have a choice. I can either draw a follower or draw a location. Follower is how you get points. So I draw the top one, and I happen to get Infected Marge. Now, Infected Marge, most characters have, and I'll just show you in here, most characters either give you a bonus, like if it's green icon's bonus. The Dumb Jock, his skill is smack in the head. At the start of your turn, he kills 1 zombie in zone 1 every turn. He's worth 2 victory points.
Okay.
Okay, some characters have penalties, like the Screaming Cheerleader. Loud screams at the start of the turn. I add 2 zombies to zone 3 if you've got her with her every time.
Drawing all sorts of attention to her.
She's worth 4 points. The Dumb Jock helps you. He's only worth 2 points. And then, of course, I happen to like the Spunky Mom who's holding the gun here, because what she says is, I'm sick and tired of your big. And what she does is she simply covers up one of the other's penalties because she stops them from doing it. She only gives you 1 point, but she's pretty valuable as far as that's concerned. So there's all kinds. You name them.
Interesting interplay with the cards, not just it does this one simple thing and you're done.
Right. We got we've got the local coward in here who you've got to put a run on. You've got to actually put a gun icon on. He stops you from fighting, a gun or a bat. You've got the old codger who actually removes 1 die from your pool at the beginning, but gives you a reroll. You got one of my favorites. She's in every movie. The Unnoticed Smart Girl. You remember halfway through she takes her glasses off and everybody goes, wow. She's not just smart, she's pretty. And the Caring Nun. Angry Waitress is one of my favorites because she started her turn, she hits a zombie with a coffee pot in zone 1 and kills it, but she screams. So she actually takes a zombie from somebody else's board and puts it on her zone 3. So she constantly moves her problems back, okay?
So we have all of these different followers. How do locations play into all of this?
Okay, locations do special things. So let's say if you went to the high school, what that says at the high school, it's familiar buildings, gives you an advantage. So it would say you would place the high school beside you. At the start of your next turn, you would add the black die to your roll. Or you might get, for example, high ground. You've got the high ground. Not only do you get the black die, but all guns do 2 damage this turn.
Cool.
Or you get, the hardware store is always fun. Immediately draw 2 loot.
So are these always good for you, or is it a mix?
If you happen to wander into the graveyard where zombies are coming out, that's not good.
You kind of deserve what's coming your way if you wander into a graveyard.
Zombies will pop up.
Yeah.
And the worst thing of all is if you wander off to the playground, he'll wake up. Okay, so once he wakes up, he starts moving to each player. Now he'll have so many wounds based on the number of players on him. He'll have these tokens, and every time you shoot him, you'll take one of these and add it to yours, and it becomes a victory point.
Cool.
But you also have to draw one of his cards at the end, which will say something like this one would cause him to grow. He'd get 2 more wounds. A lot of these will be attacks. A lot of these will be summon zombies, put more zombies on your board and other players' boards.
So remind me again, how does the game end?
Game's going to end 1 of 2 ways. If a player dies, the game immediately ends. That's the run, fight, or die part. Okay?
Right.
So that's the die part. And everybody else would score their points, which is going to be, in my case, since I got Marge a minute ago, she was 5 points. I believe.
Right. So the followers that you have, you get their points.
Right. So if you had this, and let's just say, who doesn't want the attractive nurse and the gamer geek with them? And let's just say I've got the obnoxious councilman, which, by the way, he's terrible because you lose all your rerolls.
Wow.
But since you could hate politicians, if he's the first one you get, you can refuse to take him, but he is 6 points. Well, let's just say I had him. So the game ended right now, and let's just say I had 3 wounds on me. I would have 2 points plus 6 for 8.
And then if I have no wounds, I would have 5 plus 4 for 9.
9, right.
Pretty
And if
simple.
we were tied, whoever has the most is the winner. Okay, and if you're
the most followers, like the most number of followers?
Right, the most number of followers. And if you're still tied, then whoever has the most life points. And then if you're still tied after that, well then guess what? You both just...
So what's a typical playtime on this?
The playtime, once again, since it's a dice game, it can run, it can vary based on the number of players. But on the average, it's going to run you 30 to 45 minutes with 3 or 4 players.
And how many players does it support?
The base game comes for 4 players. The publisher, and I also encourage publishers to do this. A lot of people don't want to play with 5 or 6 players, so there is a 5 or 6 player expansion, which will give you new board and some new characters and more zombies. So you could play it up to 6, and it plays fine up to 6. But keep in mind, it's a dice game, so you are passing around.
Some downtime and stuff like that.
I would say the sweet spot for me is always 3 or 4 players. That's really the sweet spot. But I played it with 5 and 6. It's fun like that, but you have to be willing to watch everybody's turn and kind of enjoy what's going on.
And is this available for purchase now?
Absolutely. It's we're debuting it here. It's got an excellent response. People are really enjoying it. In fact, I've had actually 6 wives come up to me today and said, "Look, my husband got the game on Kickstarter and made me play it, and I hate zombie games. I have to tell you, I love this game."
That's great.
Because in the end, it's not really a zombie game. It's a first-player shooter with
kind
a
of
B
push
movie.
your luck a little
Right.
bit and some nice theme elements and
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
And it doesn't have any of the player elimination, and you wait for that to go down.
Right.
And it has lots of choices, it moves fast, and really you can put the dice in somebody's hands and they can play the game in 5 minutes.
All right, well, it looks great. So once again, that has been Run, Fight, or Die.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.